Hi there, it's Nicole for Simon Says Stamp, and today I have a card showcasing some stamps and dies from the STAMPtember release from Simon Says Stamp. I am showcasing the new Secret Garden stamps and dies, a great, really cute fairy type stamp set with the birch window die, and I have combined them for this really sweet Secret Garden themed card. I'm going to take the images that I want to use, or at least the ones I originally planned on using. I am going to add a few additional ones near the end of the video to complete the scene. And I'm going to place them right here in my MISTI, pick those all up, and then I'm going to stamp them with the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. And I am using my MISTI because I have found that a lot of times, especially with new stamps, I don't get the best stamped impression the first time. You can see those are pretty faint, and I really press the ink on there. The great thing about the MISTI is I can ink these up and stamp them as many times as I want to get really nice, crisp, black stamped impressions with my stamps. So I ended up doing this 3 times. That's going to give me nice outlines, perfect for coloring. Go ahead and just pop that out, and I'm going to start coloring with Copic markers. I am going to speed through this a little bit, but I left the coloring in. Lots of coloring on this one. Even that cute little fairy garden house there, even though it's not going to be seen much, it's going to be hidden there behind the birch window panel, but you still want that hint of color, and you need all of that in there. I started with the fairy, I colored her skin, and then go ahead and get that blended really well, and I'll move on to her hair next. So super fun to color. All the colors I am using are shown across the bottom of the screen. In case you ever wonder exactly which colors of marker, they are listed down there. Using some nice, very, very light yellow greens for that top layer of her costume. Decided to make her blonde, went very easy with just a couple of colors here. And then the fairy wings themselves, I'm going to color in pinks. Very, very light pinks. RV0000, and then I will add a few more colors in a minute. I started with the light color and decided before I got any further, I wanted to go ahead and finish her little costume or her outfit here. So it's kind of got that really light yellow-green overlay, and then it's going to be darker underneath with just a little bit darker green colors. Bright, fresh colors, super fun. I'm going to pull in a little bit more red-violet here with RV00 to darken that up just a tiny bit. And while there's still some color there, I want it to be even darker just near the base. So I'm going to very lightly go in with RV02 and then blend any of that out with my RV0000. A little yellow ribbon around her waist and in her hair. Green for the leaves in her hair. And then a pink and orange flower. So sweet and delicate. I think there are lots of ways you can color this sweet little fairy. She's so cute. The bird I'm going to do in some blue-green colors, BG11 and 13, and then a little Y13 for the tummy. For her shoes, I'm going to make those yellow as well, Y13 and Y18. Same for the star on her wand. And then I'll make the wand itself green with YG13. The sign is going to be in some nice light shades of brown. I'm using E40, 43, and 44, one of my favorite color combinations for lots of different things. I particularly wanted to keep the colors pretty muted and soft. So the fairy is very soft, very fresh colors, not anything terribly dark. That's what I'm going to do for all of the rest of the images as well. A little Wink of Stella clear glitter brush pen for the fairy wings to give them some nice sparkle. Also on part of her outfit, as well as the star on her wand. Go ahead and work on the mushroom next with YR00, 01, and 04, and some of those same E40 and 43 colors for the base of my mushroom. Make the underneath of the mushroom darker. I even pulled in a little E43 to darken that up more. The spots are going to be yellow with Y13 and Y18. I'm going to keep that same coloring for the mushroom on the house as well. Some of my yellow greens, same colors I used for her costume. Those are for the little tuft of grass there on the fairy house. There's that yellow for the little dots on the mushroom, darkened up underneath as well. And here, coloring that second mushroom exactly the same. You do not have to do that. You could totally go with different colors. But I knew I wanted to do the house in a little bit different color combination, and so I stuck with this for that. I didn't want to pull in too many different colors, especially when this house, like I said earlier, is going to be partially hidden behind a vellum panel. The chimney is going to be in E40, 43, and 44 as well. I will use those same colors for the doors, the casings for the windows, till I get the coloring just the way I want it to look. Now for the house itself, I decided to do kind of a peachy pink for the roof and then yellow for the body of it, just to add a little bit more color. So I'll start with the roof here with our 00, 01, and 02. Darken that up. Here's where I pulled in the R02 to darken it even more. Just go around the edges a little bit, and then I'll take my mid-tone color, blend that out, and go back with my lightest color again and blend everything out. Take my darkest color, and I'm going to add a little dots all the way around, add some nice texture. The house is going to be in shades of yellow. So light yellow here first. I'll pull in a little bit darker yellow. Just in a few places. All these colors have been used in other places on my card already, so they were already on the table. Maybe except for the YR30. And so, love that color combination, nice and soft. Here's where I decided to do the casings for the doors in the same kind of nice neutral brown colors. Some yellow inside the windows to make it look like lights are on. Darken up any areas that might need it. Little pink for the doorknob. Make sure and finish off this last window up at the top. Very quick, very easy, simple coloring. Again, yellow inside those windows. And then I will take the coordinating Secret Garden dies, tape them in place with some Post-it tape, and I'm going to run everything through my Big Shot die cutting machine. So originally these were the 4 images from Secret Garden that I thought I would use, and a lot of times when I'm working on a card, I stamp what I think I'm going to use, and maybe as the card progresses and I start creating and building it, I realize I might need something else. And this was one of those cases, and I'll show that to you as I get to that point. Popping all of these out, making sure I'm putting the dies back on my magnetic sheet so I don't lose anything. Because until I get my background kind of built, I don't know if I'm going to need a lot of extra. I did take a black glaze pen and go over her eyes and the eye on the bird. This is the birch window die, and I'm going to die cut that from some smooth white cardstock, and I'm going to die cut that first, and then I'm going to go back with the stitched rectangle die and die cut that. I tried to die cut them both with one pass of the machine, which you totally could do, but I did not get my birch window lined up just straight up and down and it was bothering me. So I find if I die cut the window first, then line up my rectangle second, I get it a little bit straighter, which makes me a lot happier. Just gonna run that back and forth a couple times and pop that out, and that's gonna be a nice panel for the front of my card. I will also die cut an additional solid rectangle from smooth white cardstock and from some of the new vellum available from the STAMPtember event here at Simon Says Stamp. So I'm going to be hiding the house there behind the window and then tucking the rest of the elements on the front. I'm inking up a greeting from the Secret Garden stamp set with some silver Delicata ink. Stamp that right there along the top of my birch tree window, which is perfect. Nice softly stamped greeting. I think it adds to the magical feeling of the card. And I've decided I'm going to need that cute little snail there. So first I'm going to build my window. I want to make sure I like how this all looks. I'm going to put a nice strong adhesive on the back of this panel. Place my vellum right there underneath it. Make sure it's lined up. So there's my window, and on my background rectangle, I'm going to apply Squeezed Lemonade and Twisted Citron Distress inks. Only a little portion of this is actually going to be seen, but I wanted a little touch of color so that it wasn't so stark white. Blend those together nicely. Again, you don't have to worry about the edges too much. It's mostly just that center there that you want that color. There's what that's going to look like. And when you tuck the little house behind, so cute, really helps it pop. I'm going to go around all four sides now of the birch tree window and apply some Scotch foam adhesive. Make sure and get that covered really good. That way this whole panel will pop up a little bit, which will also give that illusion of dimension, of looking through the forest trees, back into the forest, seeing this cute little cottage nestled amongst the trees. So there's what that's going to look like. And then I tried to work out exactly where I wanted to put everything, and I played around with it a little bit. I ended up putting everything in that lower right corner. But a lot of times I like to kind of move things around, make sure that that's exactly what I wanted to do. I really felt visually balancing out the card with the fairy, which is oversized in the upper left corner, and then that house with the little grouping of accessories in that bottom right corner was going to balance the card the best. Since I kind of know that's where I want everything to go, I'm going to go ahead and attach the house back behind that panel. Tuck it behind there with some nice strong adhesive. And then I can peel off the backing paper on the foam adhesive and attach that right to that background panel. I'm not going to be putting anything else back behind this, so that's going to be finished. Now all I have is the rest of the elements for the front of that cute little forest scene. Get all my foam tape off. So there's what that looks like. I can grab my other elements now, and I am going to attach the sign and the mushroom. Make sure I get them exactly where I want them to go. I'm using Zot's Bling glue dots to attach these. And then I want to have a little snail there. And originally I thought I might even add another mushroom and then the little grouping of flowers. So I am going to do the same thing as I did before. Use my Misty to stamp the images several times. I'm going to stamp them 3 times just like before, one right on top of another to get really nice stamped impressions. And then I will color them in with my Copic markers. I colored the mushroom. I ended up not using both of them, so I can just save that, use it for another project if I want to. But I did color in the snail and the grouping of flowers. The colors I used are shown across the bottom of the screen here. So those nice soft pinks, the same colors I used for the roof of the fairy house for the body of the snail, some greens for the leaves. I colored both flowers with the exact same colors I used for the flowers in the fairy's hair, RV55 and YR04. For the snail's body, I decided to go with the brown neutral colors E40, 43, and 44. Make it easy here. Just go around the design with my darker colors, blend that out, add some little dots with the brush tip of my Copic marker. Then I'll use the coordinating dies and die cut those. Attach those right down there to finish out the scene. Kind of cluster all of those together is my favorite. That's definitely how I think it looks the best. Go ahead and get rid of that other mushroom. I even thought I could tuck it over here, and I just felt like it was too much. I kept trying to use it. It's one of those instances where sometimes you look at it and less is definitely more. Taking a black glaze pen to the eyes on the snail, attach the whole thing to a white card base, and then a white gel pen adds a few dots to the snail's body. And the Stardust glitter pen adds a little dot of glitter to the magic wand in the centers of the flowers. And here's my Simon Says Stamp top fold card base. I will attach this whole dimensional scene right to the center of that to finish off the card design. Such a cute and fun secret fairy garden themed card. Thanks for joining me today as I showcase some of the new STAMPtember products from Simon Says Stamp. The supplies I've used to create this card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos showcasing Simon Says Stamp stamps and dies that you might be interested in. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.